And then repeating the following affirmation after me, and just really speaking to yourself, taking this affirmation to heart, accepting yourself wherever you are today. I am as I am. May I accept myself as I am. Things are as they are. May I accept things as they are. One more time, maybe taking both hands to the heart now. I am as I am. May I accept myself as I am. Things are as they are. May I accept things as they are. And releasing my hands back down to the thighs. Maybe rolling out the shoulders, taking some neck rolls, neck circles. Maybe a shoulder massage here. We hold a lot of tension in the shoulders when we're stressed or in front of screens, always looking down at our phones. Grabbing hands and rolling out the wrists. And then just taking one last breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth, making this the biggest, deepest breath you've had all day. Letting it all go. When you're ready, if your eyes were closed, slowly blinking them open, preparing to be present for class, and hopefully turning your cameras back on.
Thank you, Sam. I'm following you now, Andrea.
I actually just saw that.
If you don't want me to, I won't. I'm just being funny. Faculty should not be following students on.
I just followed you back.
Oh, well, you're not missing much there either. All right. Afternoon, everybody. We're concluding our 4th week of our spring semester. And at this time is now when we put the metal to the pedal. We have ordered our product. I saw my credit card hit for $14-something $100. Don't tell my wife. We're not going to be buying groceries this week because of that. That's a joke. But we're off and running. We got the website beginning to get fired up. The Square and the credit card charges and link to your Wells Fargo bank account will be done by Monday. We'll talk about that next Tuesday. That's being done as we speak. That's why the CEO and CFO gave me their information. So I forward that to the bank and they'll be getting some information from the bank, Wells Fargo, early next week to set up to see their account and all that. Our next big step now is to make sure that Wells Fargo loves us. That's what our next step is. Does the bank feel comfortable lending us and giving us a credit line of $2,500? So that's our big task now over the next week. Let me show you our agenda for today, and some of you might have missed it. We're finishing up and working on the business plan and setting up our websites for this week. We have to have the final business plan turned in by noon on Sunday. That's when I will review it and then send it along to Norm, Professor Abadante, Professor Hicks, Professor Rossum, and all other parties who are going to be reviewing this business plan and making sure it's ready for Wells Fargo is going to make sure they have any questions for you next Thursday. We are going to be last in the Wells Fargo presentation. We're going to go about 9:15 next Thursday morning. There is no class a week from today, just the Wells Fargo presentation in the morning, and I don't think you'll probably have any of your other classes. I doubt it. And then we're having a practicum meeting for all the students in the practicum. All 3 teams are getting together via Zoom for about half hour, 45 minutes at 4 p.m. next Thursday. And those links are in Blackboard and the Zoom links file folder, so you can click on. So we will be going. Now remember, the Wells Fargo presentation is business attire. So you have men, you have to wear a tie and a dress shirt. I don't care about pants, we won't see you. And ladies, a nice top, hair, men's and women's hair done fine, maybe a shave if you think it's necessary, men that is, and whatever for next Thursday. It's a professional business presentation to a bank that's lending you money. So it's a very formal, not formal, but semi-formal business affair that you have to be looking sharp and prepared. That plays a lot into the grade and the assessment by your professors and I on that presentation. But before we get to that point next Thursday, we have to make sure that everything is in order and all our missions, our goals, our strategies, our financial projections are completed. And we have to get that done by Sunday. So Andrew, where do we stand? Where do we need any help? What's going on?
In regards to
The business plan.
Okay, so currently we have the business plan. We cleaned up took the advice, well-needed advice. So we cleaned it up. We added a lot of visuals. We're only missing, let's see, one bio. And I believe
Does that bio happen to be Mr. Williams?
That is.
Is Mr. Williams still a member of this team? Does anybody know?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Where has he been the last 2 weeks? Anybody know?
Can't speak on that.
Well, if anybody is in contact with Mr. Williams, could you please please advise him to get in touch with me as soon as possible? Or his future in this program is going to be very short. Thank you. All right. So you need a bio. What else, Andrew? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, sorry, no problem. I believe just a little bit more of financials, and that's
Taylor, I see that you need assistance in the financials, but we were supposed to get together last Tuesday and you were nowhere to be found. What was the story on that one? Taylor? Okay, there we go. All right, so I will get with Taylor on that. And now Sebastian mysteriously comes on board as we speak. That's interesting. Okay, so Andrew, so we're getting some financials and I'll get with Taylor after class today and see where that stands. Okay. Anything else, Andrew?
Regarding the business plan, nope, we're looking pretty good. Just a little cleanup here and there. We'll have it done by Sunday.
Okay, very good. So if you can get your updates to me in some form tomorrow, so I can look at it and look at it Friday evening or Saturday morning, and then get back to you. If you could get something to me, both the financial spreadsheets and the business plan tomorrow, Andrew, is that possible? Can we do that?
Yes, financials. We do have some financial spreadsheets.
Okay, well, Taylor's listening in. I think she's been ill, but whatever, you guys can send me the financial files and the business plan file so I can review it, please. All right.
Understand.
Okay. And Rihanna and your marketing people and sales people, if you could give me, I know it's probably in the business plan, but I would like it from you. If you could send me your individual projections for individual sales and then internet or group sales. If you could give me an idea, weeks 1 through 10, what you plan on selling. If you have any individual goals, like each person is to sell 3 units, 2 units, 1 units, whatever, if you could get that to me tomorrow as well, Rihanna, or whoever is doing that. Okay.
For the projections, do you said send it to you or send it to Rihanna?
Well, since who's ever coordinating this, have them send it to me.
Okay, sounds good.
Great, Eric. Thank you. And then I also would like who's ever coordinating the internet website setup, a little report on where that stands tomorrow. Where you are, what has been done, what has not been done. If you have a web address, can I click on that and look at it? If not, that's okay. I don't expect that. If it's not ready, it's not ready. That's not a big deal. But it just give me an update on where we stand with the website and that process. So if I can get this information tomorrow, and then I'll go to work and review it, maybe get with Sam and Andrea and have them take a look at it, and maybe send it on to Howard. And then I'll get back to Andrew and the powers that be on Saturday, so we can fine tune it and get it ready for Sunday morning. Okay, Andrew, does that sound fair?
Mhm.
All right, good. You guys have done a great job, and I commend you for it. This, again, as we've talked about, this is not an easy thing, and you have done a great job. It's fast. There's a lot of pressure, and it's a new thing. And also sometimes I have to admit, and it's partially my fault too, is the communications sometimes are lacking, making sure people are aware of what's going on and we're all communicating on the same page. And sometimes that coordination is not there. So that's partially my fault because I'm the head honcho here. So, but I think we're all doing a fine job and you're doing well. I just need to see some more, as I said on Tuesday, I need to see some more participation from some people. And let's hopefully that will get cleaned up in the next few days. Okay. Now, another point, I have been informed that Sarah Rodman Alvarez is going to be visiting us on March 25th. She's the representative of our charity. And she also is a Laverne employee and a very nice woman and in charge of the Lewis Center. And that's kind of fortunate for us. And she will be here on March 21st to 25th, which is a Thursday, to help us and give us an idea of what they do at their charity, how we can help them even more, or what's our input or their input into what we're doing. And Sarah will be here on March 25th. Also, on March 11th, we're going to be having a marketing internet expert named Ronnie Ramos visiting us on March 11th. She's visited us before in prior semesters. She has good insight in using internet, Instagram, social media, using the internet to get the name out of Wheels Meals and get that out on the internet. And Ronnie is going to be joining us, and thank you, Howard, for setting that up. Will be joining us on Thursday, March 11th, which will be a good thing for us to visit or to see. Also in April, we'll be having a visit by somebody, and I don't know their name yet, but somebody from Wells Fargo will visit us. Not to critique us, not to yell at us, not to pat us on the back, just tell us a little bit about how they work with small businesses, how they deal with small businesses, startup companies. And we can't be any more startup than this. We're a startup company, and they're just going to give us a little experience, a little knowledge of how they decide on helping small businesses, what the banking industry does for small businesses, how the small business and the banking community is rapidly changing in their business models with the pandemic, with technology, with what's going on in the world. And I think that'll be a great visit for us to give us some great experience. And I know some of you are studying and maybe perhaps thinking about going into the banking business or going into marketing and going into entrepreneurship. And this would be a very good thing to hear about from somebody from the bank about how the relationships between financial services and small businesses are done. And so that's 3 great speakers we have coming up to our class, which will help us with the experience. All right. Andrew, do you have anything else for us today as far as discussion or any decision making or anything?
Yes, we do. So
Okay.
Rihanna, again, has more great marketing ideas that
Okay.
she needs to discuss.
So we kind of talked about this on Tuesday, I believe, but so it's looking like if anyone can help tomorrow after 4 to kind of just shoot, it won't take long at all because the promo video is probably not going to be longer than like 30 seconds, but just to get a couple good shots of like the tray and just to get like good videos for our promo video and to take like promo pictures for our website and our Instagram. So if anyone's available after 4 tomorrow, or like even if you're available some other time during the weekend, like make sure to text in our group chat. Yeah, we'll probably need maybe like 4 to 5 people. So yeah, just let me know for that. And then for our slogan, I've been struggling to come up with anything. So if anyone has anything creative to come up with for a slogan, that we kind of need quick.
How about don't be like Tiger, use wheel meal? Sorry, bad joke. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. That's a very bad joke. I apologize.
I swore I sent a slogan out like a couple weeks back.
Say that again.
I sent a slogan out in the group chat a couple weeks back.
What was that slogan?
Shoot, let me go find it.
Okay. Now, this slogan would be used like on the website or on some marketing material and that sort of thing. I think that's, you can have more than one slogan. You can have different slogans for different markets or different types of groups that you're trying to sell to. And Sebastian probably, when he looks that up, or anybody else has a good idea about slogans, and it doesn't have to be that Fifth Avenue, New York City, Wall Street type of deal. It can be just a nice little thing like Laverne students for something, or it might include our charity or something, and just some type of little things you can kick around, and that would be a nice heading on a presentation to Wells Fargo, or are we now officially determined that our logo is fine and we're going to use that?
We actually changed it.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No. So after our feedback, we'd like to we brought up some more designs to make it more like a wheel, and so maybe Jaslyn could talk more about that.
Oh yeah, so I've just been messing around with the design, trying to find, I guess, like wheel symbols that are more similar to the actual look of a wheel. So yeah, I've just been messing around with it. I told Andrew I should probably be done with it by today or tomorrow.
Okay, great. And if you could send that us, and maybe we can incorporate it in the business plan, Gisleen, that'd be great. That'd be really good.
Okay,
And let me just stop here just a sec. Talia, I know you're not feeling very well, and I'm sorry about that. And I received you just sent me the 3 spreadsheets, and Talia, I'll look those over this evening and give you a shout out tomorrow and let you know what they are and any comments. But thank you very much for sending them along to me right now. I appreciate that, Talia, and feel better, okay? I know you can't answer, but that's okay. Continue, Andrew, or really,
Sure.
Rihanna, whatever you're working on.
Rihanna,
Anything else? Oh, go ahead, Miguel.
2 slogans, and they're on the business plan.
Oh, so Miguel has brought up 2 ideas for a slogan. One being "Bring your comfort on the go," and the second will be "This tray will make your day."
Ah, not bad. That's pretty good, Miguel. I like that. Okay, there you go, Rihanna. There's a couple of good ones. And if Sebastian can find his, or you guys look back in the chat history and see if you can find Sebastian's. And I think that those are pretty good ones. And
I see Sebastian's right here.
yeah, I know. I was just
Yeah, I just copied and pasted again. It was from a couple weeks back. I sent it to the group.
All right, Sebastian, great. Thank you. Can you
You don't
tell
have
us
to use
what
the last line though.
what's that?
I said we don't have to use the last line though.
Why don't you tell us what is it?
All right, let me read it to you real quick. Wheel Meals, the tray that gives you meals on wheels. This tray triples as a table for eating, workspace on the go, and when you want to roll up, no more mess, just an easy smoke sesh.
I don't really understand that last line, but I'm an old gangster, so don't worry about that.
Exactly.
But that's not really that's kind of like a description of your company, kind of. That I like that, Sebastian. I like that a lot. But I think what we're talking about is like one quick 4, 5, 6, 7 words or something like that.
I just said it. Wheel Meals, the tray that gives you meals on wheels.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, I like that too. That's a good one. Excellent. I like that. So we got 3 decent ones there, Rihanna. We can look at, and anybody else has any brainstorming about that. I think that's good. In prior practicums we didn't really have logo or a saying like that, did we, Andrea or Sam? I don't remember us having things like that. I think this is a clever idea. That's great. That's great. So that's good. Rihanna, anything else involving marketing or anything in those lines?
Yeah, so I was just talking to Andrew about this idea that I got today, and I think I was just kind of messing around on like iMovie, and I got this idea to do like a 4-part like intro series, like of videos for our social media and stuff. I kind of made like a rough draft of the first one, which would be like the problem, and like just kind of introduce like what's happening with the restaurant industry because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a short, like 30-second video about that. And then the second part would be like the product promo video that we're going to be filming.
Can I show that actually?
Yeah.
That was actually really a very good idea. Has a really good base to it. Am I able to share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, perfect. Can you see it?
Yep. This could be a great entry level for your presentation to Wells Fargo. This could be a great part of your your presentation, putting that out there, and just have it roll, and then you introduce yourselves and get into the presentation. I think that'd be good, Rihanna and Andrew. I think that's good. Excellent. And I think whatever video or whatever creative stuff you can do on that, the more the better. I know it takes time and to coordinate that all, but the more you can be tech savvy, the more you can be marketing savvy, the better, because that's people take note of that, for lack of a better choice of words, because again, I'm an old gangster. When something goes viral on the internet, that's when people notice it. It's clever, it attracts eyeballs, and whatever you can do to attract eyeballs to Wheel Meals is what you want. And I think that's great stuff. All right, very well done. Go ahead, continue. I'm always cutting you guys off. I apologize. Anything else?
Oh, going forward, so since we're finishing up our business plan,
yeah,
now we're going to be focusing heavily on marketing and our website.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna get their 5 marketing or promo trays today at my house. So by this weekend, we could actually use them to shoot pictures, videos, and whatnot. And then once we do that, we could incorporate them into our website. And Serena's doing an awesome job doing our website. She's shown some sample of what we have. She's added all like little tabs that we need. She's just waiting on the pictures and any kind of promo stuff that we want to put on there. So it's coming together pretty well. I know Miguel had something to share. I don't know if you
Go
wanted
ahead,
to
Miguel.
Go ahead and hop on.
Just like an update kind of for the team, if these things didn't like reach out to you. Let's see, we already went over the logo. We're planning on improving it. The slogan, it's up for anyone who's looking for a creative slogan. Rihanna is like asking for anyone who can come up with it or can beat mine. Just a heads up, the presentation for Wells Fargo is coming up. Everyone's gonna have to talk. Just to let you guys know, and Professor Hassey went over that we purchased some products, and it was 200 units total, and they're coming between March 11th and April 1st. That's basically it.
Andrew, the trays that you ordered that are coming today or tomorrow that you said, is that part of that order or is it a separate order?
This is a separate order.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's cross our fingers we can get that before March.
Me and Mason are monitoring the tracking on it.
Okay.
So once we feel that if it goes too late, we already have a plan in place where we're going to order a second from our second vendor. So that way for sure could get our orders probably the first week. We would probably be taking at the most a couple days of pre-orders, which we don't, we feel like 2-3 days.
You feel comfortable with that? You feel okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
So at the most it'd probably just be like a couple of days of pre-orders, and then we'd get on to with our second vendor.
Okay. The thing we have to watch in that, we're already down $1,400+ so that's $1,100 you have left.
Mhm.
Okay. And so we're limited amount of funds we have to place that emergency order, right? You're aware of that.
Yes. I
Okay.
believe as me and Taylor discussed, we're going to only ask 2,000 from Wells Fargo.
Okay.
So that's part of our budget that we've discussed.
Okay. Well, you're going to get 2,500.
Oh, this regardless?
Yeah, that's the line of credit.
Okay.
That's the line of credit they give you. They'll give you
Okay.
$2,500 line of credit where you can draw down on that line of credit to what you need.
So we can't take less then?
No, you just
Okay,
don't
so we're
spend
gonna
less.
take off. Okay.
Yeah, you just don't spend. You're not going to be charged the 20. You only get charged interest on what you use of the line of credit. So right now
Okay.
you're in it for $1,400. Okay, the
Mhm.
clock starts on March 8th. That's when the interest starts accruing on March 8th for $1,400. Now let's say you spend another $500. So now it's gone up to $1,900 of interest you'll be charged, and the interest will be a couple of bucks a week. Trust me, it's a very small amount. But you're only going to be charged and only have whatever you use. So if you only want to use 1,500, then that's all you'll be paying interest on. Does that make sense?
I understand. Mhm.
Yeah, because it's a line of credit. And I know a lot of you who probably don't have much experience with lines of credit. Just you can draw up to 2,500. Doesn't mean you have to. You just draw on whatever you need. And then you pay interest on that. And then we'll start paying that back as soon as we start developing some cash flow in sales. Then we'll start whittling down that amount and reduce the interest even more. Okay. So that's how that works. And are we going to have, just for the sake of discussion, are we going to have any other expenses that we need to be aware of, or I need to be aware of, or Talia needs to be aware of to pay in setting up the marketing or setting up anything?
I've been talking to everyone. It seems like from what we have right now, it's going to be the same.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Professor?
Yes.
So I know I was in charge of doing like the corporate marketing.
Yeah.
So I actually found 2 leads for companies. And I just wanted to say, because you said expenses, and I know when Tyler mentioned it, we were saying that since it's going to be so expensive, there's not too much like availability that we're going to have. So I just wanted to mention, they're not guarantees anyways, but there's 2 companies that I talked to that would want to buy like a few for the company.
Okay, that we can do that. I mean, it depends on how many, what you mean by few. And also we could, you know, we can sell some product for the first couple of weeks and develop some cash flow. Then we have more money we can use to buy another order for a company order like you're talking about, Ghislaine. So we can manage that very easily as long as we know the numbers, as long as you make an agreement with a corporate partner when they want delivery, and we can set our schedules and set our cash flow accordingly. That can be done very easily.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
You just keep in touch with Andrew and Rana and Miguel and everybody about your progress and what you're talking to them about. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Great.
I have something to say on that too.
Yes, Tyler.
So I talked with my dad like last week, and he's in for like 25 of the trays. So we can ship those out whenever we get them. He's gonna send me the money and then I'll buy them.
Okay. Very good. Now, one thing I want you to think about in the next day or so, especially the people, you know, putting this into your business plan, do you want those 25 units to be sold in week 1 while we have, or do you want to wait till week 2? And so we can plan and just have it in our projections. Tyler, is this a pretty well guaranteed? Dad's not going to stiff us, is he?
No. Yeah, this is.
I'm just teasing. So
if he did, I'd be like, wow, that. I wouldn't talk to him anymore. Simple as that. Just easy.
I can send the boys after him and make his life very difficult.
Yeah.
So that's no problem. No, but so that's a fairly sure thing. 25 units, correct, Tyler?
Yeah, I talked with him last week and I asked him and he said like 20 to 25.
All right, so let's build that into our projections, into our sales projections in week 1 or week 2, whatever you see fit, because then we can see how many units that's going to maybe push up our reorder, if we do need to reorder, because we're buying what, 200, right? Yeah. So, okay, great, Tyler. And if Ghislaine can hook us up with some other things, and does your dad have any other friends who might be interested in this?
Oh, I've got a bunch of people I'm gonna send it to.
Okay.
I'm really gonna send this around. My mom's also a hairstylist, so she's gonna tell all of her clients about it. We're out here, Hassie. We're gonna sell the most ever. Trust me.
Well, early, Hassie.
Let me tell you, the numbers you have to go after is the world record for the practicum over the last 11 years. The world record is $17,000 in total sales.
That is mediocre. I'm looking at like 35. Okay, that is mediocre numbers.
Tyler, is there any drug use going on today that we should be
No,
knowing about?
This is the future, Hassie. Okay, wheel trays.
Speaking
of
that's
as Howard can attest, that's the attitude you need to have, and that's great. So I was just
going your promo video.
Yeah, there you go.
What was the company that did 17,000?
Geez, it happened like 7 years ago. It was a company. They did some type of cell phone thing, and I'm sorry, I can't remember. But the reason why they had 17,000 is just like what Tyler just said. And Ghislaine, they hooked up with a couple of companies that bought a crap load of product, and then they ended up making about $7,000 in profit. That's the all-time record. So if you guys go after that one, you'll be one of the things we do. And I shouldn't tell you this because some other people will tell you, but we have if you win the contest, if you have the best record or the best profit, we do a bunch of PR stuff and the word gets out, and also we give you guys an award, and it's a plaque and you get your names on it and all this kind of stuff. But it's a nice honor. So yeah, go for it, guys. The key is finding the companies to order 20, 50, units at a pop, and that's where you make your sales. And that's if you are interested in going after that record, that's how you do it. So keep on trucking. That's great, Tyler. And Ghislaine, keep doing that. And with clever ideas, like you guys have mentioned here today, with video and with the logos and and your corporate sayings, your corporate labels, I think that's a great way to hook in people. Because let me tell you, and I don't like to talk about the other two teams, but the other two teams think they are going to go after the record too. They're very cocky, and they are very confident in their products and their ideas. So it's going to be good competition. And
what is their product?
I can't tell you that.
All right, well, I'll find out anyway.
You can find out probably. But matter of fact, I've already seen some marketing on some of their products already, I believe. But I'm not. I can't tell that because here's one of the things, and I've told this to you all before. I'm kind of monkey in the middle here because I kind of represent all the teams as far as reporting to Wells Fargo and managing it. But you guys are the team for me. But so I have to keep kind of very low profile and unbiased in some of my discussions about what the other teams are doing. But you can find out very easily, and I'm sure a lot of you have friends on other teams, so they can tell you that too. All right, great ideas.
Professor, I had a question.
Yes, Austin.
About selling outside of California. So we can't use the website to sell out of California?
Right.
Okay. What about, so people could like send an email to us and then we would just buy the product and send it to them, and that's how we would.
Yes, and I'll go and I'll be like this. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. I won't know anything about that.
What about out of the country?
No can do.
Okay. All right.
And the reason for that, Austin, is purely because of we're running this company through the University of Laverne. Okay, it's a University of Laverne entity technically, and we cannot, for sales tax liabilities, for reporting liabilities, for our not-for-profit status, we cannot do that outside of the state of California.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. But that's a good question, and you should all know that. So if somebody contacts you who's out of state or out of the country and they want the product, you would have to buy it and you can send it to them, but it can't be purchased if we show on our sales records that are on the internet, on the website, that a transaction came from outside the state, we would get in trouble. I would get in trouble. We all would get in trouble, and that we can't do that. So matter of fact, I just had a message from our treasury office here at Laverne saying, is all the students aware of what's going on with out-of-state sales? So they're already aware of that. So great question, Austin, and thank you. Okay, anything else that we have not discussed?
What is my role? I don't understand it.
Well, first of all, your role is to attend every class.
Oh, well, I just got back to Miami on Tuesday.
You should have. Did you let anybody else on our team know about that?
No.
No. So, well, that's your first role, is to participate in the class.
Yeah.
The second role, and I believe you requested this a few weeks back, Sebastian, you wanted to be information officer.
Yeah.
So you should have been attending all the Wix.com sessions the last 4 weeks and see how the website is being operated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your role, to manage that.
To manage the website.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And if you need any extra help on that, you just let me know. Give me a shout out. Just tell me what you need, and I will help you, Sebastian.
Who's on the team for the website?
Well, I have sent you the roster via email, and it's located in Blackboard.
Mm-hmm.
And so the website and finance manager is Serena Cardona. Mm-hmm. And the Miguel Hernandez is also our general manager, and he's also involved with the website. Rihanna is also involved with the website. So those are the leading officers in regards to that.
All right.
Okay. So you be in touch with them, or you contact them with your ideas and what you need to know. If you want to go over the Wix.com tutorial sessions that we've had on Tuesdays, those are posted. Those links are in Blackboard, so you can review and watch those videos.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sebastian. And everything is okay? You're right? Your travels have been okay?
I had to pick up and pack up all my stuff. I went to Laverne and packed up my stuff, stayed out there for like a week and a half, and came back.
Okay, good. So I'm glad you're safe and everything's okay.
Yep.
All right, good. So we'll pick it up from there. Anything else? How about let's go, Howard, you have any input or anything for our students? Mr. Hawkins. Let me, got to unmute you, Howard.
Okay.
There you go.
Quick question on the logo. Has this been firmed up? There will be a logo applied to each tray?
We have stickers that we're going to be applying to them. Mason, I believe, has the details on that.
And you're having these made on the outside
That's correct.
domestically. So they won't, every time you sell a product, you'll apply the logo.
Yes. So
Okay.
they're going to be applied like a sticker. I think we have a couple of vendors. Mason, you want to pick up on that?
Oh, yes, we
Okay.
do. We found a vendor that could get us the stickers.
And those stickers will also be passed out for promotion, not just on our trays.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And then I will, Andrew, I reviewed the draft that I received of the business plan. I've got a few nitpicking comments, which I'll email to you.
Sounds good.
Okay,
And if you could copy me on that, Howard, I'd appreciate it.
sure.
Thank you, sir. Andrea, do you have anything this afternoon besides you? What's your dog's name?
This is Sasha.
Sasha. Very nice. All right, get the hell out of there. Get that dog out of there. Okay. Do you have anything, Andrea?
Yeah, I actually did make a couple of notes about the business plan. For starters, about like your guys' quantity, how much you guys plan to sell each person. You guys set that to 4. Maybe you should think about lowering that because you guys are a team of 12. And if you guys do plan to sell 4 per person, at the end of the 10 weeks, you're going to be at 480, like as your total goal. I think, I mean, you guys do have a lot of company sales that you guys are looking into, which is good. So maybe like you guys are for sure probably going to reach that. But like for your worst case scenario, 480 probably won't be likely to put on there. So if you want to like lower that a little. And then also, for the mission statement, you guys like put, hold on. Sorry, let me find it. Okay, so I think just like simplify the mission statement a little more. It's pretty wordy. I think it was Miguel who worked on that.
On which part?
The mission statement.
Oh yeah, that was me. That was me.
Okay, yeah. So I'm actually just gonna like text you about that. I don't want to like go over everything on here, but I'll just like text you like what I came up with just to like simplify your mission statement a little more.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay, thanks, Andrea. Sam, do you have anything?
I had sent my comments to you, and I think Andrew got those. So I don't know if everyone got those. So you guys can figure that out. But I just want to say, hang in there. I know it's really stressful. The business plan gets really stressful. But just make sure that you're delegating to each other, and you don't have one person doesn't need to be writing 20 pages. And just know that like after you get through the business plan and the Wells Fargo presentation, it's pretty like regular. Like you get into a really good routine of your sales and when to turn stuff in. So you just kind of have to get over this hump of like crazy deadlines and getting this out. But you guys are doing great, and I can tell everyone's putting in a lot of work, and the logo is looking good and all that. So yeah.
Thanks, Sam. Very good. One of the and I'll Taylor has sent me her numbers, everybody, and I'll take a look at them tonight and tomorrow morning and get back to her, and then forward that on to Andrew and Miguel and the group. One of the things we have to look, one of the nice things about these presentations in the business plan is we can do 3 different what ifs. What we think is going to happen, the most likely. And if Tyler and Jasleen get some big corporate partners, if we end up selling 500 units, that's the best case scenario. It's not guaranteed, but we could get to that point. And then, but also we have to think about, and this is a bummer, but you got to do it because it happened to a team last semester, or a couple teams last semester, is they didn't even come close to their numbers. It just didn't work out. And so we also have to consider what is our worst case scenario. If something, if we have a lot of difficulties in selling, or if we have a lot of difficulties just managing things. So we have 3 different alternatives. And the reason for that is when bankers and financial people look over a company's business model and business plan, they want to see, they don't want to see pie in the sky, oh, we're going to kick butt. They want to see realism. They want to see actual realism, what could happen, what may happen, but what also could be a disaster. They want to see, if they're going to lend you money, they want to see, yeah, it'd be great if you guys reach these goals, but at the same time, what happens if you don't? Are we going to be able to get our money back? So that's the rationale you have to look at this. Yes, everything has got to be big. We're going to sell to corporate partners. Tyler's going to sell 25 to his father. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. But what happens if things don't work out? We also have to be able to project, things not working out. And that's just being a businesswoman, a businessman. You're looking at all the different alternatives and be ready for the strategies to deal with those alternatives. With these things, and that's an important thing. Always be prepared that something goes wrong. What happens if we get the trays and they're delivered and half of them are warped, or you have to return them? What do? Well, that's why we have a second vendor. That's why we have alternative plans. So you always have to be considered. What happens if we lose the internet for a week because Wix has a hacker or something, which hopefully that doesn't happen because we're paying for that protection. But at the same time, what happens if the internet goes down? What do? Then we have to go by network sales, our own individual sales. So all these different things are being the real world of being a businesswoman and a businessman, is be anticipating not only success and reaching for success, but also anticipating failure and how you handle that and how you get better by being ready for failure. That's the important thing. And I think that's part of what goes into the thinking and the presentation to Wells Fargo, is that, yeah, we're going to kick butt, we're going to do well, but at the same time, we know that it could go wrong, and here's what we plan to do about it. So that's why we do this, and that's just covering all the bases. I was going to say another word, but I won't. That's covering all the bases, just to guarantee and to prove to Wells Fargo and our lender that we're stable enough to handle any situation. And that's the key thing: stability. All team members being accounted for, all our work being accounted for. That's the key. And having backup, having templates, having spreadsheets, having progress reports. That's the key. And once Wells Fargo is assured of that, they're going to give us the money, and then they want us to account for it over the course of the 10 weeks. And I think we're off to a great start on that. So I will look for, Taylor's been great to send me her work. I'll look at that. Andrew, if you can send me something tomorrow, if somebody can send me the status of the website, a written out little couple paragraphs of where we are, or send me an email, and then I'll take a look at it, and then we'll get ready to put all this together over the weekend. And I'm sorry we have to do this over the weekend, but that's the way the cookie crumbles here. We have to be prepared for next Thursday, and Wells Fargo and everybody needs a head start to look everything over and get ready for questioning you next week. So don't forget, let me bring this up here in Blackboard, and if you need it, I can send it to you. There's samples of Wells Fargo's presentations from past semesters about how they put together their business plan into a PowerPoint. Not a lot of words, a lot of nice pictures, colors, information. You might want to take a look at that, because once we get the business plan put to bed this weekend, then we have to quickly change our strategy to put together this business presentation, and we'll rehearse it and go over it next Tuesday in class. All right. So once the business plan is put to bed, you just can't say, that's done, now I can relax. We got to put together a PowerPoint presentation for about 10 or 15 minutes to talk about how we're going to manage our program to take all those 40 odd pages of the business plan and put it into a 25 slide presentation. And somebody on the team should begin maybe thinking about putting that together or putting the template together of that. Not just Andrew, somebody else. So let's think about that. Start working on that as we go concurrent in finishing up the business plan this weekend. Let's start putting together the basics for the Wells Fargo presentation. If you need help in the guidance of that, that's why we have Sam and that's why we have Andrea. Give them a shout out. They can help you. Am I right there, Sam and Andrea? Are you guys going to be in town this weekend?
Yes, sir.
Is Sasha going to be able, you're going to be out taking Sasha for a walk?
Sasha will be here for moral support for sure.
Very good. All right. So that's at the same time we're doing this. We need doing the business plan this weekend. We got to start preparing that PowerPoint slides. You know, what you just showed me earlier, that video, that could go as a head start into this. Or if you're working on some video that Rihanna was talking about on tomorrow, maybe a piece of that could go into this presentation. However you see fit, the business plan is the written document. The presentation is the one-on-one, not one-on-one in person, but via Zoom, of showing Wells Fargo you got your act in gear and are ready to take the responsibility of the loan and be a successful company. So that's where we're headed to over the next week. All right. And if any of you have any questions or concerns about that or putting it all together, that's why Sam and Andrea are here, and I'm here too. And so we're here to help you. We'll send drafts to Howard and he'll give us his input. And we'll be in good shape because Howard will be there next Thursday. Can you be there next Thursday morning, Howard?
I plan on at least starting.
Okay.
We have a very important date. We're getting our second dose of vaccine.
Oh, well, that's more important.
So it'll depend on the timing.
Okay, well, that's more important. Don't worry about that. That's more important. I get my vaccine tomorrow. So does it hurt? Well, forget about it. All right, so that's for me tomorrow. You guys don't care about that. All right, so that's what we have going on heading into this weekend. So I'll begin to look over this information tonight. And I have a class tonight, so I won't be able to get too much at it tonight, but mainly tomorrow morning. And then we'll give you some feedback and we'll put it together over the weekend. But the noon on Sunday is the date and the time that we need to get everything in, or I'm going to get yelled at by Wells Fargo, and Professor Abadante will yell at me too. And I don't like to get yelled at by Professor Abadante. It's not a pleasant experience. All right. Anything else from anybody as we get ready to close out? All right, I'm now going to shut off and have a beverage at the end of the day, and the beverage will be non-alcoholic, just so everybody knows. And I'll be listening to I'm Not Your Friend. I'll be listening to Leo FM this afternoon. All right, guys. Thanks for all your hard work. Everybody, great input. We didn't hear much from you, David, well, I think we heard from everybody else. So David, I hope everything's well and you are participating, okay?
Yeah, everything's well. I was just listening.
That's great. That's nothing wrong with that. All right, guys, I'll see you and talk to you, probably a lot of you this weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Be careful, be safe, be well. Adios.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.